Hello people, welcome back to another episode of my YouTube channel. As you know, on this channel I talk about how you can study abroad. I give you tips on how you can move from your country to wherever country you want to study abroad. And today I brought about another interesting episode on how you can move from whatever country you are to the US. I know, subsequently I've been talking about it in bits and in pieces, but I'm just like, I'm just going to do a video that will join all the different fragments together so that it's one pieces, and people that are just looking for like quick information can just watch this video and get the process from A to Z. However, I'm going to say that in this video I'm not going to be as detailed as possible because I am trying to make sure that this video is not so long. So if you are looking for the step-by-step process in details, I'm going to link all of the individual videos on the screen and you can watch those if you are looking for the step-by-step details. Anyways, before I move on, please, if you are new here, do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell so that you can get notified every time I have a new video coming up. And I want to hear your thoughts, so please put your thoughts in the comment section and share my video as well. That's the only way we can go viral, and that's the only way you can reward me for the labor I do, for all the time and the effort I put into bringing you all of these helpful resources. Anyways, without talking too much, we are going to jump right into the video. So like I said, we'll be talking about like the step-by-step process on how you can move from whatever country you are to the US without any agents, how you can do it yourself. So the first thing is research. With research, you'll be able to know the schools that you want to apply to. Sometimes you have like specific requirements. When you are researching, just have those specific requirements at the back of your mind. For instance, myself, when I was applying, I had the requirement that I didn't want to write any exam, and I had the requirement that I didn't want to submit official transcripts. That is why research is important. That you get to know the admission requirements, you get to know the deadline, and you also get to know what the application process is, because I'm telling you, it's not all the school. Why so many schools have similar application process? It is not all the schools that have the same application process. So make sure you bear that in mind. And I think another thing that I just said on the surface is like the deadline. Make sure you bear in mind the deadline. Some schools will tell you this is the priority deadline if you want to be considered for scholarship and fellowship. If you want to be considered for scholarship or fellowship, make sure you apply by that deadline that they have called the priority deadline. If not, scholarship, fellowship, assistantship, whatever would be on available basis. And I'm saying the fact that you apply on the priority deadline doesn't mean that you will get it, but it is kind of like putting you as pool of people that will get it, if you get what I'm saying. So that's the first step. The first step is to research. Then the second step is to gather all your documents, all your application documents. When I said earlier that when you are researching, you get to know the admission requirements. So now it's for you to gather all the admission requirements for each specific school. And the common admission requirements are like your resume. I know I've not spoken about how to like write resume. I have that video. I'm just going to maybe I'm going to post it after this or whenever, but make sure that your resume is like sound. Your SOP, there's a video already on my channel on how you can come about your SOP. So make sure you write your SOP and make sure that your SOP is unique to you. You want to state your specific story, so make sure that it's unique to you and it's convincing, like you are able to tell your story in a way that is convincing enough for them to give you admission. Then recommendation letter, make sure you are reaching out to people that can give you a strong recommendation letter. I think I've said it over and over again that recommendation letter can be a major reason why you are not getting admission. Because okay, let's imagine that there are 10 people and we just want to select 8 and everybody submitted a stellar application, good resume, good GPA, good whatever, and then I'm just like, okay, I just need to cut down on people. The next thing is just look at the recommendation letter. Is the recommendation letter strong? What are your recommenders saying about you? So make sure you want to get a strong recommendation. You want to get a strong recommender. And I'm going to say for the recommendation letter, start informing your professors ahead of time, just so that they have the time to write a good letter for you. Your professors, your bosses, start informing them ahead of time. And then something else is like your test score. For test score includes like SAT. If you did SAT, your test score, just have it handy. GRE, GMAT, ACT, and test of English proficiency. Why some schools will not require these tests from you, some schools might require it from you, or you as an individual might even want to take this test. So if you took the test, just have your test scores ready as well. Or if a school is requiring you to do a test, just have it at the back of your mind that you would need to do the test before you start applying for admission, if you get what I'm saying. Then the final one is your transcript. Already you know what your transcript is. Make sure your transcript is ready. And for transcript, I would say apply early. Also look with your institution if you can expedite the process. And when you're applying for transcript, try to kind of like communicate urgency to them. When I was applying for my transcripts, literally I got my transcripts in 2 weeks, and I know majority of people that attended my school were complaining about their inability to get their transcript. I just kind of like stated my story, I communicated urgency, and I was also willing to like expedite the process. So that's why I got my transcripts on time. So if that is what you want to do, make sure you are communicating urgency, and also make sure that you are expediting the process. Then for undergraduate students, your WAEC result is also important. For some schools will not bother to ask you about your WAEC result, while some schools will ask you for your WAEC result. So make sure you have that handy as well. Then the third step, I was going to say the step number 3.
Stay focused, stay focused, stay focused.
But the third step is that you should apply to schools. Now, when you're applying to school, I do advise people to apply to more than one school. I know the exchange rate might be crazy in your country, but please apply to more than one school. Like apply to 2 schools, widen your option, widen your scope, widen like the way you can make your choices. So I would say apply to more than one school. But if your capacity is really on one school, don't because of that say, oh, you cannot get admission, or don't because of that say you cannot get the visa. Apply to the one school. But to be on the safer side, I would just say apply to more than one school. 2, 3 school is fine. Then also when applying, remember to signify that you want to be considered for scholarship. On the application portal part, there will be a part, some schools, not all the schools, some schools will ask you, do you want to be considered for scholarship, assistantship, fellowship, whatever? Remember to signify yes, so that they know that, okay, this person is looking for scholarship. And the fact that you signify yes doesn't mean you will not get the admission. All the schools are applied to, everything schools are applied to add that question of, do you want to be considered for scholarship, assistantship, or whatever? And I clicked yes, and I'm telling you that I got admission in all the schools. So it's like, it's more important that you are truthful. If you need scholarship, let them know that you need scholarship. Because if you are like, oh, maybe if I state yes, they might not give me the admission. Also remember that if they give you the admission and they don't give you scholarship, like you are not able to attend the institution. So I just wanted to like put that out there. Apply early. You know, I already said it, that you know the requirements, so make sure you know the deadline rather. So make sure that you apply early. Pay your application fee, because I know there are some institutions that allow you to submit. They allow you to submit without paying application fee, but they will not process your application until you pay your application fee, except you have a fee waiver, which is another case. And even if you have a fee waiver, you already have the waiver code. So, but if you don't have a fee waiver, submit and pay your application fee. Then also track your admission status. You know, some schools will let you know when you've been given admission. Some schools will not let you know immediately. Some schools will let you know like 2 weeks later. But you've been able to track, you already know, okay, this is what is happening. This is where my application has gotten to. Okay, my application has moved to the department. My application has moved to the person deciding. You kind of like know. So be able to track your application. And you can track your application on that portal. When you submit and you've met all the checklists, you will see a place that says track your application or see admission decision, whatever. So just, you know, just do that. Then the 4th tip is wait for admission decision. That's the 4th step. So with the admission decision, you already know there are 2 ways. Either it's like an offer or a rejection. But however, have it at the back of your mind that whatever it is, the case might be, you can always try again. And please do not give up. Then the 5th step is to apply for your I-20. We already know the I-20 is like the immigration documents. When you're applying for your I-20, make sure that you read all the requirements on the school portal so that, you know, you can apply and you can get it on time. Instead of them bouncing you back times without number, you apply now, they bounce you back. All those is wasting time, because with your student visa, you need to be very fast. You need to sorry, come on, sorry. But yeah, you need to be very fast with your student visa. So you need to apply for your I-20. Immediately you get the admission, start thinking of what next. Start thinking of applying for your I-20. Then the 6th one is for you to apply for a student's visa. You know, remember to pay your application fee, your visa application fee. Remember to pay your service fee. Schedule an appointment. Don't just pay your visa fee and wait there. You have to schedule an appointment. Prepare for interview. I've heard a lot of people saying, you know, preparing for interview helps you to sound rehearsed. I'm telling you, still prepare. Don't because of that not prepare. There are a lot of frequently asked questions online. I'm sure if you type it on Google, there are a lot of frequently asked questions on Google. Even on YouTube, there are a lot of people that do frequently asked questions on YouTube. In fact, I've done some of the questions. I think 2 or 3 questions. I've done that in time past. So make sure you are preparing with these frequently asked questions, and make sure that your questions, your answers are being unique and honest as
English.
Honest as much as possible. That's what I wanted to say. Then be confident. You want to exude confidence. I know it's not easy. I know you are anxious. I know whatever is going through your mind, but be confident. Like literally, that's the only thing you can do. Be confident. And I know something that helps me with my confidence game, because when I tell people I'm shy, people are like, you're not shy. But I'm like, you have no idea. I am a very shy person. But what helps me is the fact that you are a person. I'm talking to you. And the highest thing you can say is a no. So as long as I have that at the back of my mind, that, okay, this person is not going to kill me, the highest thing they can say is a no. That helps me to exude confidence. The 7th step is travel arrangements and logistics. After you get your visa, the next thing you want to do is book your flight. Because the closer you get to the date, the more expensive the flight is. So as soon as possible, start thinking of booking your flights. Then when you book your flights, either you do both simultaneously. Also start thinking of where will I stay in the US in terms of accommodation. Either you are booking a temporary space with someone, or you are booking like a space, like your permanent space, whatever that is. Make sure you are doing all of those. Book your accommodation, book your flights. Then arrange for airport pickup. I know I said in one of the videos for the pre-arrival, I already explained why it is important for you to arrange for airport pickup. So go and watch that video. Then pack your belongings. I've also recorded a video on, you know, some of the things you should pack, some of the essential things you should pack. So I will direct you again to that video. Go and watch that video. Then the 8th step, now that you've done all of those, is port of entry. Of course, you already know that you travel before you come to port of entry. So the 8th step is port of entry. Honestly, with the port of entry, I know when I was in Nigeria, like I used to, like, you know, watch YouTube video, and a lot of people were saying things that were very scary. But if you are legit, you don't have to be scared. Just be confident. They will ask you a few questions. Where are you going to? What are you going to do there? I'm going to study. As simple as that. Okay, how many, some of them I even asked how many schools you applied to. During my own time, the only thing the VO said was, oh, Miami University is a very reputable institution. I really like this school. And I was like, oh, thank you. And the person was like, oh, welcome to the United States of America. So there's nothing very crazy about it. But I'm not going to say there's nothing very crazy, because I know some people had like a bad experience, or maybe not so palatable experience. But something I would say is, as much as possible, be honest, be confident, be polite, and do what you are told to do. If they tell you move to the right, move to the right. If they tell you move to the left, move to the left. Don't try to be rude. Don't try to be unpolite, whatever, if there's an English that is called that. Oops. Then the 9th step is arrival and settlement. Arrival, of course, you are now in the US, but yeah, like, attend international student orientation. It is very important. Get a SIM card, get a US bank, and finally give yourself the grace to settle down. Okay, and yeah, well, that is it. Those are like the 9 steps. As easy as it is, as easy as it seems, it also requires you to be very passionate about it. It requires you to be motivated to do it. I remember my time, like I used to say, I want to travel out, I want to do my master's abroad. But until I had that passion, until I had that determination, it did not happen. So I think that will be the final thing. The final step, everything joined together, is for you to have determination. And I wish you a successful stay in the US. And I wish you a successful, planning, and be amazing. I'll see you in my next video. Do not forget to subscribe, press the notification bell, give my video a thumbs up, and bye. Love you.